I think the number one question I get asked is, how do I find motivation between working a corporate job, doing YouTube, being in school part-time, having a boyfriend, and just a social life in general? I am going to let you guys in on my secret. You can't have this without also having this. So let's spend a day together talking about motivation and how we find it.
Hi guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another super fun little goal check-in, just day in the life, working towards some of our goals kind of day. I'm really excited to take you guys along. Honestly, if you guys can't tell by the title, the theme of today's video is how to find motivation, finding motivation. And I've been really enjoying doing these goal check-ins with a specific theme. So obviously in January we did the how to start theme, and this month it's all about finding motivation. I feel like February, you're either you still have momentum or you're starting to lose a bit of momentum, which is totally normal, by the way. So yeah, we're just gonna go through the day vlog style. I am back home, kind of in my routine a little bit. I feel like I just need a good check-in to see where I'm at. I wouldn't say that I don't have motivation, but obviously last week I was kind of living on autopilot the whole week, honestly. I didn't really vlog before my trip. Well, no, I did. I did a packing productive vlog, but I was just living on autopilot last week. I was not doing anything to get me closer towards my goals. I was obviously on my work trip, and guess what? That's totally normal. You're not gonna wake up every day and do a million things to get closer to your goals, or even if you want to, you're just not going to every day. Life just happens. And if anything, I think that's healthy to almost take breaks from that, because grinding 24/7 is just gonna really lead you to burnout. And so I don't know, sometimes I think it's nice to take a little bit of a break and reevaluate your goals. And even last week there was some stuff that I was oh, I really want to try and accomplish this in February, or oh, I want to take this goal out and do this goal instead, and that's totally normal. So today we're just gonna have a really cozy day, talk about motivation. I think I'm gonna try and get a workout in, and then tonight Matt and I are having a really fun date night at IKEA, and I thought I would take you guys along. And it actually kind of ties into my goals, because you guys know one of our big themes for this year is just making our house more of a homey space. Yeah, and some goals, should be fun and things you look forward to. And you guys know I'm a reward person, so I'm if I get all the stuff done I need to get done today, we have a fun little date night tonight, it's gonna be great. So yeah, we're gonna do a little yearly goal check-in, a monthly goal check-in, and then do some planning, computer work, kind of goal stuff. And then we'll have a chat about my tips for finding motivation, and then we're just gonna see where the day takes us, get a workout in, do all that kind of stuff, and kind of get back into a good routine, take you guys along. So I've been having a really slow morning, which for me especially, I feel like this vlog is also kind of getting back into routine, getting back on track. Slow mornings are key for me. I slept until almost 9, and I read a chapter of my book. I've been watching some YouTube, just relaxing and being cozy. I am not the kind of person that can just jump into it. I'm not a 0 to 100 person. I've just been kind of answering some emails. Obviously while I was gone, I wasn't really doing a ton of YouTube stuff behind the scenes, so I need to update my budget. My pay stub comes out for work and all that kind of stuff, just getting some admin stuff out of the way. I love to multitask in the morning, so I'll sit and read. Obviously I don't multitask when I read, but I'll just sit, and then when I have YouTube on, I love to multitask and all that stuff. So I'm gonna sit here for a little bit longer, honestly, and just relax. Alrighty guys, I just got dressed and ready for the day. I'm in a sweatsuit, but still, I still got dressed, and I feel like today's video is just a good example of feeling absolute garbage and getting back and being remotivated. It's definitely gonna be a bit more vlog style than me just sitting down and giving you guys 10 tips to get motivated, which I feel like sometimes can be more helpful as seeing someone actually do it. But honestly, I'm feeling just very irritable, and when I'm irritable, I don't want to do anything. For me, I just get really irritable when I've been out of my routine for too long, and I'm kind of just floating in la la land, and I don't really know what to do or where to start. And this is so funny, but I obviously love the sun. I want the sun in the winter, but the sun also means super bright with filming, and it's harder to find spots to film that aren't in direct sunlight. So that makes me really irritable, which is so random, but I just filmed this clip on the dining table because I love this area, and it's just too bright and it didn't work for me, and so I got really irritable and frustrated, which is so silly, but just be honest. The first thing I need to do is kind of wipe my crankiness, which I'm gonna go for a walk outside because it's actually super warm today. It's kind of crazy to think that it was -40 a few days ago, and today it's +3 out. like everything is melting. But being outside, getting fresh air and moving my body is a really good way to kind of fuel my motivation again. Obviously, it's not gonna be the same for everyone. A sense of accomplishment when I've moved my body, especially if I'm just getting outside and getting some sunshine and some vitamin D, and it just makes me feel so much better. So typically when I'm trying to get back on track or get re-motivated, I will always start with like a long walk outside, pair that with like a motivational podcast, and you are golden. So I feel like it's all about taking that first step. Like I just feel out of sorts right now. My mind feels very chaotic, and I know that when I take like the first step, I'll start to kind of feel the momentum of being like motivated and inspired again. Is it getting a workout in? Is it sitting down and planning your day out? Is it, you know, I already said working out, but is it like just getting outside? Is it tackling your to-do list or starting work for the day? Like figure out, it should be easy, right? Because you don't want it to be super hard, else you're not gonna wanna do it, but what you need to take that first step. So I'm gonna go for a nice long walk. Like I said, I listen to a podcast, and that always just helps me feel really inspired. And then I'm gonna come back inside and we're just gonna like get shit done. So I'm really excited, but figure out that first step. It shouldn't be super hard. It should be on the easier side, something that you're motivated and want to do, right? Maybe going for a walk, something that feels fun to you and it doesn't feel like work, and that kind of gets that momentum going again. So let's head out on a walk. Back from my walk, I'm feeling a lot better. Something about just spending time outside, specifically in nature, just always makes me feel really grounded. And from that walk being like, look, I got some movement in, I'm feeling good, like let's keep the serotonin and the endorphins going. So I'm gonna sit down and we're gonna do a little goal check-in, and we'll also talk about some motivation tips and kind of make a plan for the day. It's 11:30, and one thing I just feel like is so important to keep saying is that you don't have to have an all or nothing mindset. I think a lot of the time on TikTok and YouTube, it kind of comes back to that toxic productivity culture of getting back on track, getting back into routine. It has to be all or nothing. You're either not doing it or you're doing it like 150% full force. You're getting up early, you're getting your workout in, you're drinking your 6 million beverages, and then you're grinding for, you know, 12 hours and cleaning your whole house and all of these things. And if that's how you operate best, by all means go for it, right? Because I feel like the point is you know you best and you have to do what's best for you. But I am just not an all or nothing person. I don't do well with all or nothing mindsets. And so for someone watching this video, they may think like, wow, you really didn't do that much to get back into routine, to get motivated again. And like I said, to each their own. But for me, I'd rather pick a few small things to do today that I think will get me closer to my goals, which even though they might be small, I'm still gonna get one step closer, right? So I wanna sit down and kind of think of 3 things I wanna focus on today with my goals in mind and just like getting my life together. Sun has gone for a sec, so I feel like this is my prime opportunity to sit here because this is like my favorite spot. I think this is like my goal setting spot. So I have my computer that has my Notion pulled up. I have my journal one, and then I got this new journal recently from Papier. It says Carter's Journal on it, and it says dreams, goals, and more. So cute. So I haven't put anything in there yet, but the goal is to move this stuff over to here. And if you guys, I always get asked about like walkthroughs of my bullet journal, which it's very basic. I wouldn't even call it a bullet journal. I would just call it like, I don't know, like goal setting. I believe in my 2023 reset, I walked you guys through it if you're interested. So let's talk. I feel like we should start with like tips for motivation, and then we'll get into the goal setting and goal check-in because they'll kind of correlate back. And this is such a cheesy tip, but it's so true. And you hear everyone say it, is that you won't always be motivated. You have to learn discipline. And I think that's so true. I also think something that's really important when we kind of talk about motivation with achieving our goals and working on our goals is that you have to choose goals that are going to interest you. And they're not always going to be fun, but if you have an interest in something, you're more likely to want to work towards it and work on it, right? And I think our goals should be broken up into easy, medium, and difficult goals, or at least for me, this is what works best because I really do well off of like reward and like a snowball method. I talk about this all the time, like snowball paying off debt or saving money. You have to kind of have different levels of goals because let's say you just have all super difficult goals, you're never going to feel that sense of accomplishment or momentum because they're all super hard to work towards. Whereas if you have some that are a bit more obtainable, like for me, that's why I like to mix in fun goals, like try a new coffee shop or go to IKEA, stuff like that. That's not only a bit easier to accomplish, but also fun. It kind of gets the momentum going for me. And you're more likely to work towards those harder goals when you kind of have the momentum from those smaller and medium goals. And then also along with that, I say this all the time, but breaking up your big goals into smaller goals. Very reward driven person. I've talked about this a lot. So for me, I need like positive reinforcement when it comes to motivation. So that could be something like attaching a fun goal with a not so fun goal, right? So I have to do a lot of admin work today, which I say this all the time, but I think what we don't talk enough about is how a lot of goal setting is boring. It's sitting at your computer, it's filling out your budget, it's sending emails off, it's crafting that letter to, you know, get a promotion or get a raise. Like, it's not always fun stuff. It's not always checking off that you accomplished something. It's not always popping the champagne because you hit 100K subscribers or something like that. So I love to attach a boring slash like goal I don't want to do with something fun. That works for me. For example, let's say one of your goals is to start getting up earlier a few days a week. Attach that with like going to get yourself a coffee or, you know, doing a fun goal, or, you know, if you go to work out, then you can get a smoothie after. I mean, it doesn't have to be something you buy, but for me, that's like the only example I can think of right now. Or today, for example, I really don't want to do all this computer work, but I do know that it's going to get me closer to my goals. I'm going to feel better when it's done. And then I kind of have the IKEA run dangling in front of me that like if you get everything done you need to get done today, you get to go to IKEA and have a little date night with Matt. It always need to be something that's correlated to your goals. Like, I don't really view going to IKEA as like working on my goals, but it is in a sense because one of our goals is kind of working on our home. I definitely think reward can be your best friend if you're like me and you're very motivated by like reward. I also think it's really important to make sure that your goals are for you. Like I said, there's so much goal setting online, which I love. I love that we all share goals and stuff, but so many people share their goals online and it's so easy to be like, oh, so-and-so's doing this, I should do that, right? And set the goals that you think that you need to set, not what you want to do, if that makes any sense. Sometimes it's just really easy to set goals that others do because we feel like that's what society wants us to do. But you have to set goals that you genuinely want to accomplish. You don't have to share them online. No one needs to see them, but your goals need to be things that you want to accomplish, not what you think society wants you to accomplish. I heard the beginning clip of this video, you know, like you can't have motivation without rest and all that stuff. What are your non-negotiables, right? This kind of ties into the whole reward thing, but what are your non-negotiables? Is it going to yoga? Is it hanging out with friends? Is it taking a rest day? For me, for example, I work really hard Monday through Friday from, you know, 7 to 5, whatever you call it. And my reward is having weekends to rest. Occasionally I have to do work, but I would rather grind hard during the week, and then my non-negotiable is having my weekends to rest and relax and spend quality time with my loved ones and be off of my phone. It wasn't always the case. You guys know I used to work weekends for a really long time. That's just an example, but maybe it's going to hot yoga once a week. Maybe it's having a phone-free Sunday. Like, what are your non-negotiables? Because I always say this, I think that the rest is just as important as getting the shit done. So yeah, if you guys have any other tips, let me know down below. I tried to keep them a bit different than the ones you kind of like see everywhere online. But let me know what your tips are, or what keeps you motivated, what keeps you going. I would love to know. Right, now we're gonna go through my goals. I'm gonna go quickly over my yearly goals and my monthly goals for February and kind of just see where I'm at. And then also from there, I can kind of figure out like what I want to work on today, depending on like my level of effort, right? Like, am I feeling like I want to work hard, or am I feeling like I want to do some easy stuff today to get me closer to my goals? So let's do it. I don't know if I should screen share or just like talk it out with you guys, but actually maybe I'll just screen share with you guys. It's probably a little bit easier. The yearly goals, so they're broken down into different categories. I do well with a lot of goals. Some people don't, and that's totally okay. I always say, like, just do what works for you. But for me, I like having varying goals in different categories and a lot of things to work towards, because a lot of these are kind of one-time check-offs. So what I like to do on like a halfway through the month basis, or when I'm just kind of getting back on track, is like, let's just go over all of our goals for the year and kind of see how we feel about them. And just, I'm going to talk out what I think in my head when I do this. So this is how much I want to make net in a year. So ideally what this looks like right now is I should probably review my finances. I haven't done that since the end of January. Kind of see where I am at with my business income, my personal income. My pay stub is available online, so I should probably just update that. Max out my TFSA. I need to actually do some updating in my journal, so we'll do that after. Find a good business payout model. I mean, I've already kind of done that. Keep up mindful spending. That, once again, is kind of just like a reminder, like, okay, Carter, let's just be very careful and not careful, I don't like that word, but like mindful how we spend this week. It's a good reminder. Track expenses. Grad school, I'm really ahead right now. I'm like 3 weeks ahead. That was one good thing that came out of the conference, is I got a lot of work done, so that's great. Read 100 books. Take more photos with loved ones, more present in the evenings with Matt. I did add like a little, oh, I should probably delete this. I added like a little toggle here of more date nights outside of the house. So we're gonna have like dinner at IKEA tonight and have like a little date night, which I think will be so fun. Create a morning routine you look forward to. So one thing I want to do is get new curtains. We have blackout curtains right now in the bedroom from when Matt worked nights. And yeah, I want to get some brighter curtains in there and just make the bedroom a cozier space, which kind of correlates also to like making our house a home, but that will help me with my morning routine as well. Find more self-care habits, continue to be healthy and well. I know that I want to get a workout in today, so we're gonna do that just because I'm kind of feeling motivated, and I love to jump on the opportunity when I feel like I want to work out. Like, I just kind of embrace how I'm feeling, and it's not always like that, but I'm feeling like I want to get a workout in today, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna roll with it. Travel doesn't really affect me right now. We're not really thinking about that. Business, something I really want to start working on more is Instagram. I've really been slacking. I post a lot of my stories, but not a lot in feed. So this is just a good reminder to like, hey, maybe let's sit down and plan out some Instagram posts that we can do. And then of course, another big theme is the house. That's just like one of my big goals for the year. So I've added a new section in, which is to redo my office. I'm gonna film a whole work from home makeover. Matt and I were talking about it the other night, and we just have some room shifting we wanna do. And now that the new couch is here and the old couch is downstairs, we can kind of start, you know, we call it the musical room, moving things around, kind of getting our ideal house setup going. Yeah, I'm gonna move my office back to the smaller space, but we're gonna paint it and just do like a whole makeover in there. We're gonna look at beds today. We're gonna get some curtains, and I can check some things off. Like, we did replace our couch and we did find a coffee table. We'll look at rugs tonight. That's good. Oh, I did finish styling the bar shelves. That's exciting. So we're definitely making some progress there, which is awesome. Check in on my February goals. I feel like this is just, once again, really nice to see those big goals broken down into smaller goals, and also there's just like one-off goals to kind of see where I am. And I don't know about you guys, but just even like looking at my goals is super like motivating to me. So let's see. One workout class, haven't done that yet, but I'm hoping to do that next week. I've been really good about my veggies and fruits, so that's good. 6:30 a.m. wake up on weekdays, 3 workouts a week at the gym. So yeah, I want to get in another workout today. Haven't read a nonfiction book this month, but see, things like this are a good reminder to like, okay, I need to pick out a nonfiction book that I want to read this month. I did have a great work trip, so that's awesome. I need to plan another out of comfort zone date day, so we'll plan that out. I did book my branding photo shoot, which is great. Some of these I won't really know until the end of the month. I did sign my 3 sponsors for March, and I feel like checking things off is so silly, but it's also motivating in itself. Like, you're like, yeah, okay, let's go. What else? And yeah, a lot of this won't happen until I get paid. So I feel good. I feel like checking goals off is also like really motivating and inspiring. So feeling really great about that in February so far. So now I'm gonna flip through my journal, which I haven't done in a hot minute. And like I said, I wanna move the stuff in this over to this, but I wanna just like flip through here. I'll just move this out of the way. Flip through and kind of see where I am and check things off. I'm like a very visual person, so checking accomplishments off just also really motivates me. So quick flip through, I guess. We have our 23 goals for the year. My financial goals, so I actually need to check some things off here, so we'll do that in a sec. I'll go get a pen. I got my subscriber tracker, which I also need to update. So we're gonna sit down and just kind of do some updating in my bullet journal, which like I said is very motivating to me. So motivated by like checking things off. So I actually hit 83K this morning, which is so exciting. So I can check that off my road to 100K. I'm gonna circle that little box here. All right, so in January I contributed 1,000, so I can kind of cross off 2 of those little containers. And then this month I did 500 so far, so I can cross off 3 little boxes, which is great. And then subscribers, let's take a look on my YouTube studio and see. Alrighty. If you're visual like me, you'll know it's just so motivating to be able to like cross off boxes or color in boxes and just see how your channel is growing. Or it doesn't have to be YouTube, but right, just seeing how you're growing as a person, like that's so motivating to be like, look, I've already filled in 3 circles, I want to fill in 3 more, you know? Kind of back to not being 0 to 100 is taking the idea that doing 3 things every day consistently, no matter how big or small they are, in the long run will get you closer to your goals or closer to accomplishing your goals than doing 10 things one day and then 0 for the next 3 days, right? It's kind of that principle of being 1% better every day. I would rather consistently do 3 things to work towards my goal every single day, no matter how big or small they are, than do 10 things for 2 days and then 0 the rest of the week. So I just have like a little sticky, and I'm going to kind of just like look over my goals again and see what 3 things that I want to do today that will also kind of just help me feel motivated and feel a bit back on track. So number 1, I know for sure I want to get a workout in. I haven't really decided what that is. I really struggle with motivation when it comes to going to the gym. I find that's the one part in my life that I am still very all or nothing. Like I either have all the motivation in the world or I don't have any. And so I'm trying to kind of figure out how to balance that and work on that. Like I'm not perfect, I'm human, and I'm still kind of struggling with that part. Some days I'm really inspired to work out and some days I'm not, and that is a part of my life where I need to incorporate more discipline, because it's not always about motivation, it's about discipline. So definitely want to work out today. Number 2, and this is where I talk about like having a fun goal attached to a not fun, well, not that working out isn't fun, but it's something I struggle with having discipline about, is we're gonna go to IKEA, which fun goals are just as important as the not fun goals. And I think we should all set more fun goals. So we're gonna look at stuff, like I said, for my office. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take you guys along with me or if I'll start a new vlog. No, I'll probably take you guys along. Go and look for some stuff for my office makeover, maybe look at beds, get some curtains for the bedroom and the office, and just kind of get inspired. And then number 3 is I kind of want to just get some computer work done, which is very broad, but I want to update my business expenses. I want to update my budget since I get my pay stub. I want to just like kind of get some computer work done. And the one thing that I feel like people don't see so much is, in order to cross off goals like this one and being able to cross off, you know, I hit a new milestone, I hit 83,000 subscribers, it's what goes on behind the scenes, right? It's all the editing, it's the consistent uploads, it's creating new video ideas and finding a balance between searchable content and fun content. And so it sounds silly, but today I'm gonna edit 2 videos, and in the long run, that is gonna get me closer to my goals because I'm staying consistent on YouTube, right? So clearly it's the next day. We have some up to do. It's just life, I guess. Life with a chronic illness. Those that get it, get it. I had big plans for yesterday, and I swear every time I do and I have the motivation to do stuff, my body's like, nah girl, not today. So I finished editing my videos and I was getting ready to go to the gym after my work day. And then I took Stella out to go to the bathroom and was starting to get an aura, and I was like, oh, of course. The one day I actually want to go to the gym, my body's like, nah girl. So I took my meds and then I just like laid on the couch. That turned into a 2-hour nap, which clearly my body needed. Like my body just needed some rest. Then I woke up, it was like 5:36. Matt had just gotten home, so then we took Stella to the dog park because I was feeling better. Sometimes if I catch my aura early enough and I take my meds and I nap it out, I will avoid the migraine. And then by the time we got home, we were both kind of like, oh, we don't really want to go to IKEA tonight. It's kind of like across town. It's like a 45-minute drive. And so it just, yeah, yesterday just ended up turning out a lot different, but that's okay. I'm like trying to learn to just go with that. You guys know I'm very type A, and so I'm not a very go with the flow person. So yeah, we had a nice little at-home date night. We had some pasta and garlic bread and just like hung out and relaxed, and we're gonna try and go to IKEA this weekend. But it's just a reminder that sometimes things just don't go according to plan, and you can't do anything about it. So that was fun. And then this morning I got up super early at like 6 because I had some meetings in person at work. So I went on site and worked this morning. I find whenever I do that though, and I say this all the time, I'm a hybrid employee, so I don't have to go into the office, but first of all, it just drains my social battery. I think I'm also recouping from my conference too, so I'm just like dead. But I just don't get a lot of work done in the office. I get super distracted. I know that like obviously socializing is good, but I just work so much better at home. So I'd rather do like half days on site more often than like one full day, because at least I can come home this afternoon and kind of just like get a bunch done. So that's what I did. So I just came home. Luckily, I mean, we're only 15 minutes away from work, which is so nice because I can come home on my lunch break and then still have a lunch break. So I stopped at Starbucks. Some days you just need the external motivation. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, okay? I hit a wall at lunch. I was like, oh my gosh, I still have to go home and work a half day. Like, I'm zonked, I'm exhausted, and I want to go to the gym after work because I didn't get to go yesterday. And I'm just pooped. So sometimes, you know what you have to do? You gotta bribe yourself with a coffee or whatever it is for you. Maybe it's an energy drink, okay? Sometimes you just gotta do that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm motivated all the time because I'm not. But I told myself that I could get a coffee if I got everything done I need to get done this afternoon, and then went to the gym after work. So that is my plan. I just ate some lunch, I had a sandwich, and I just sat on the couch for like 10 minutes to just kind of chill. I took Stella for a little walk, and now we're gonna get back to work for the rest of the day. But I wanted to give you guys that update because, yeah, old me would have just not posted this video because I'd have been like, this is just a hot mess. But it is what it is. It's life. Clearly my body needed the rest. It's just funny because like I've had the last few days to nap, but my body chose yesterday. So cheers. Cheers to that. Sometimes we need the external bribery and motivation. But I'm gonna finish my workday off, and then honestly I am feeling really tired, so I'm not gonna put a ton on my plate. I think it's really easy, especially when, let's say like yesterday, my evening didn't really go to plan and I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. It'd be easy to like overload my plate today, but then that's just gonna like lead to the cycle of burnout. So I'm still taking it kind of easy today and just getting those few bigger things done. So yeah, we're gonna go to the gym after work, and that's like my biggest priority. So as long as we get that done today, I will be very happy. Here's to a realistic, productive vlog, motivation vlog. Yeah, I don't know how the girlies are doing 100 things on their to-do list a day on the social media, because I am zonked just from working. For a quick walk, getting some fresh air always wakes me up too, so I did that. And now we're gonna get to the rest of our work day. But that's my little update for you guys. Some things don't go according to plan, but I think my plan for today is to just go to the gym after work and then come home and have a nice evening, a little self-care evening. It's hair wash day. I think it's really important, like as much as this is like a how to get motivated vlog, to also relax and take time for yourself. So that is the plan, but let's get to working the rest of the day away. Hopefully this coffee will wake me up. Oh, this is my first time trying the shaken brown sugar oat espresso. I've never really had it before, and I just got a tall because it is like lunchtime, and I got it half decaf with 2% milk and just a pump of brown sugar because it comes with 3. That's a lot, and then it has a little topping on it, and it's so yummy. It's like the perfect little pick-me-up for the afternoon. So cheers, get yourself a little treat if you need to, and let's just tackle the day. I have a lot to do on my to-do list for work this afternoon, so while this may not seem like a very productive day 2 of the vlog, it's because a lot of it is like work related. So, and honestly, kudos to anyone who works a full work day and then goes to the gym. Like if that's all that you're doing today, not that like that's all you're doing, if that's what you're doing, kudos to you, because that in itself to me is a productive day. You know? Go you, go me, go us. Let's get to it.